So we've gone down, we've gone up, and let's go for your heart. I sense trauma that you haven't identified as traumatic. I know your friend brought you to some deep spirituality that has left you. He jumped off of a building, right?
Yeah.
What is in your psyche about him now?
You know, we started our spiritual journeys like together. My childhood being limited, my whole life, I was a leader. I didn't follow anyone. But when I met him, I knew he was somebody who I could follow because I trusted him, his judgment, the way he thought. You know, everything about him to me was just, this man won't lead me to no wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
What was your means of, accessing spiritually?
well, our main thing is that we believe that we wanted to change the world through our music. We became the change that we wanted to see in the world through our musical messages. We wanted to ascend. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his favorite thing to say. When you just ask him to explain one of his actions, he would just be like, "It's part of my ascension."
I mean, did you have any indication he was that depressed?
Um, yeah, but it's like it was more like couldn't understand the magnitude of his depression or the magnitude of why he was so depressed. Eventually, it got to a point where he would speak and nobody would understand,
Okay.
and that's kind of how you knew, like, he was advancing, you know what I'm saying, faster or without. We came to a point where it was like, I felt that he was moving, like, extremely fast. And I just looked at it like, okay, he is 2 years older than me. So I'm gonna like kind of like step back and because it was a point where like on our spiritual journeys or spiritual knowledge, just everything, we was just on the same level. And then, it came to a point where he just started like leading and like a distance came in between us just on the spiritual side, you know what I mean? Me, I already knew that I didn't want to go so fast at such a young age.
I can think of a lot of great artists that have taken themselves out that they couldn't incorporate that physical arena with that spiritual arena and feeling that great disconnect and like they don't belong.
To be honest, I think that he thought that he was dreaming.
Yes, I think he was in relationship with the spirit world.
No, he definitely was like,
Yes.
and I know because he's my brother. Like,
Yes.
there would be some, like closer to his death, there was just days where I would just look him in his eyes and he's looking past me. He's not looking at anything that's here.
Yeah.
Or he's not looking at me, like he's looking through me, like way past. Yeah.
I mean, what I'm hearing, and help me because it was your friend and you were there with him, but what I'm just sensing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that he was open to this spiritual awareness and didn't himself have a teacher to where he couldn't process all of that. Opened up a little bit too much, didn't know what to do with it, couldn't handle it, and that's what I'm hearing that was the demise of your friend. Does that make sense to you?
It actually makes like, you don't even know how much sense that makes to me because I understand that. You know what I mean? It's like the hardest thing to try to explain that to people who's not on that level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I believe that is what happened.
What's in the room for you right now? What are you feeling right now?
Darkness.
We'll talk about that.
It brought me to a really dark place. And that was one of the first things I told myself when he passed away that like I wouldn't do. is allowing myself to get to that dark place close to where he was, But I felt like I went there anyway because I was kind of curious to like almost see how he felt, even though I would never know how he felt. But yeah,
So you got depressed.
severely, extremely, yeah.
Well, I think, I hear you very much into the spiritual arena, very high. And I hear you grounded here on earth. But I think the center is the place, your heart.
You know why? There's a lot of sorrow in there.
Okay? But see, that will create depression and a lot of dissatisfaction the connection is the heart. What does it do to you to hear me say this, and what are you feeling in me revisioning your life world?
I'm coming to the point in my life where I'm realizing I'm stretching myself too far out with everything that I'm putting on my plate. And it's starting to stress me out a lot because, I don't have time to just sit back, have fun, and just, enjoy things. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a lot for a young man, you know?
So you may be just moving very fast and want to move faster, and it seems like you're not moving because you have no patience and you're so ambitious.
Yeah, and just like many human beings, is you're never really satisfied because everything that you want, everything you desire, is like drugs. You know what I mean? You just want more. You just like whether it comes to success or whether it comes to happiness, is like you're chasing that first high all over again. So I might you know what I'm saying? Yeah, of course you relate to what I'm saying. Of course you're the guy.
Well, that scares me a little bit because you may never enjoy where you are. It's like when you're on an airplane, do you know that you're that high in the sky?
I go to sleep, so no.
Right, and you're flying very high and very fast.
Right, that's when I'm unconscious.
I wonder, is that also sort of endemic to what you're happening now, that you're flying very fast and very high, and you're not conscious of the fact that you're flying very high and very fast. So consequently, you're not enjoying the ride.
I love myself, though. I couldn't say I did.
There's, there are behavioral patterns you have which do indicate that you are in love with yourself. You're dressing nice, you look good, you take it, you got people around you, hey, yeah. But that real sense of that you could just be with yourself and be in bliss.
Yeah, I don't always feel 100% connected to myself. That's something I admit.
That's your goal.
Word. Agreed.
And you're young. Old fools do live. You don't want to be an old fool. You want to be the wise old man. And you got time to get there and the consciousness to do it. Just be content in the plan and see your evolution. But you've got to take yourself along with your success. Your success is outside of you. The essence of spirituality is contentment. That is something you have yet to develop. You don't have any contentment with the divine plan. And so thus you will never be happy if you don't deepen into that. You will have stuff outside of you, fans, money, but it won't fill you up.
Yeah, you're right. This shit don't make me happy at all.
I mean, you really traveled. You came in, pleasant, but a little guarded. That's understandable. And you softened into yourself, and I think you got some information for you to take on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think therapy is an experience.